Yeah, my question was, we've heard a few people this morning say there's more to the Nordics than the capital cities, and they've then gone on to talk about the capital cities. And I wonder whether there's a sort of perceptual barrier here, in that I think possibly in the eyes of many non-Nordic and certainly non-European global investors, Norway is Oslo and Finland is Helsinki, and perhaps more contentiously Denmark is Copenhagen. Sweden maybe is a bit different, but the question really is therefore, if there is a perceptual barrier, what would need to happen to break that down, and by extension, how realistic does the panel think it is to think in terms of a more dispersed, diverse pattern of real estate investment within the Nordic regions, i.e. dispersing away from the capital cities?
Yeah, Max.
I just, being a researcher, I just wanted to add a little bit on it. Possibly one of the things when you look at the Nordics is a lot of the cities up there, we try to educate our investors also in the same way, because everybody, when it talks about the Nordics, that's right what you said, Rich, they're just looking at the capital cities because that's all the cities they know. When you talk about Linköping, Jönköping, Norrköping, it's a lot of shopping up there, but the people don't know it. the people simply don't know the cities, actually. But actually, if you then explain them the relative importance of the cities, meaning how many people of the total population live in these cities, then they're starting to realize how important these cities relatively are for the city, not only looking at the absolute size. So that's what you have to learn. But if you look at Munich, it's a nice market to be at, but it's only maybe 3% of the German population in it. And I would say even it's less. It's something between 1% and 2% of the German population that's living in Munich. If you look at Jönköping, it's more than 3% living of the Swedish population up there. So relatively speaking, that is what you have to educate the people in. And I think that's more and more the investors are starting to realize. If you go for the Nordics and believe in urbanization and positive demographics, these smaller cities might be a point, but they have to accept that the absolute size of the city is smaller. And that is at least the bigger pension funds normally don't go for, because the lot sizes they need to find for investments, they are simply not there in these small cities. If you want to deploy 50 million in one investment, it's very hard to find in a small city. But if you have smaller commingled funds, smaller investors that go for investments between 5, 10 million, 50 million possibly, they are more of the investor type. I would say they are going for the smaller cities because the lot sizes are more suitable for this type of investment strategy.